Greetings, royal family. Thanks for clicking on the video and welcome back to another episode of the Morning Boogie Morning Show. All right, we got everything sorted out. We're live. For real, for real. Okay, so if you are joining and as you're coming in, please make sure you are hitting the like button that is paying your admission fee. Okay, I appreciate you in advance. So Kanye West went over to the Drink Champs and gave an interview, highly entertaining. I watched from beginning to end, and I can't say that I was disappointed. He gave a interview that was 100% Kanye. He discussed his marriage. He discussed how the press spins things. He talks about how publicists are in his wife's ear. He touched on his children. He talked about Jay-Z, Big Sean. He talked about the Drake debacle. Okay. And just as I expected, the media is taking little bits and pieces and they are posting it to the blogs and they are writing think pieces and articles and these salacious headlines. See, this is exactly what Tory Lanez went off about just the other day. Okay. So I'm definitely going to give my in-depth thoughts about Kanye West's interview, and I'm gonna cite a couple of different sources just to kind of show you the difference in how media reports things when they like you and when they don't like you, yada yada. Megan Thee Stallion is also on the lineup. I wanted to circle back around to talking about Megan Thee Stallion because it just basically proves a point that I made yesterday with this whole Tory Lanez and her situation. And a couple of other hot topics, sprinkled in between. So did you guys listen to Summer Walker's album? Summer Walker is trending and she got the girls in a tizzy in a good way. So I'm not really going to touch on that. That probably will be a different video. But if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to Summer Walker's album, I highly suggest that you do, or her EP, mixtape. I highly suggest that you do because it's worth listening to. Okay. There's a plethora of songs on there. A lot of people are giving their commentary on it, and I've been enjoying everybody's commentary so far. All right, so before we start getting into all the juicy things and stuff and things, a little bit of an update. You guys remember, if not, I'll remind you that I talked about the Fugees' 25th anniversary tour. Well, it has been postponed until early 2022. This is according to Baller Alert. Now, when they first posted that the Fugees, when they first posted that they were going on a tour, I didn't believe it, right? I said, this may not be true, but I gave out the information, and in fact, it was. So according to Baller Alert, not long ago, hip-hop supergroup The Fugees announced their highly anticipated reunion tour. The tour was supposed to begin Tuesday, but the group announced last week that the tour wouldn't kick off until 2022. So dates for our upcoming Fugees' 25th anniversary tour are moving to early 2022 to ensure the best chance that all cities on the tour will be fully open so we can perform for as many fans as possible. This is what the group Fugees said in a statement. Now, at the same time, the Fugees announced the tour was postponed. They announced that the rescheduled tour would have additional dates and cities. So good news for fans, who basically might want to, who may not have been able to attend otherwise. So full details coming soon, along with some special announcement. This is what the statement continued. All right. So, here is what the Fugees 25 on Twitter, this is what the page posted. Okay. So full details are coming soon, yada, yada. Now this, I was taken aback by this. I said, okay, well, they could blame it on the pandemic, but I understand with good reason. You want to make sure that everybody gets to see you guys, right? And you want to sell out. You want to make money on this tour. Like, let's be honest here, right? But I remember when I should have pulled this up, when I reported on the first show that kicked off in New York, okay? Their first show kicked off in New York. There was someone who actually attended the show and stated that the show was supposed to start at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and the Fugees didn't come out until after 9 o'clock. And it was on a Sunday. So Sister Girl said that she had to go to work the next day. And she was basically angry at her customer service job because she was on her bunions for a whole 2 hours before the Fugees even came out. So she was not happy. So I think that the show probably got off to a rocky start. We don't know. I haven't heard any rumors or whispers that there's any beef or anything like that behind the scenes. So I don't know. Are you guys going to be going to the Fuji's tour? Anybody? Anybody bought any tickets? I know two people who purchased tickets for this month, as a matter of fact. They're supposed to be, so they postponed the shows. Wow. There was supposed to be a show before, I think, Thanksgiving. There's two shows this month. One in Miami, and I think there's another one in Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Jersey. So then these dates have been postponed. I got a link with the one of the two people in particular to find out what's gonna happen with their ticket. Because as soon as this was announced, they purchased their tickets. Y'all better not play with them people money. All right, up next. This is making me depressed because I talked about this months ago and I was hoping that it wasn't true, but it is. So you guys know, if you don't know, Tyler Perry is planning on remaking Sister Act and coming out with a Sister Act 3, and Whoopi Goldberg is on board and all for it. I don't know how I feel about this. This is supposed to be coming to Disney Plus. Tyler Perry is ecstatic. He's excited. So he did an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. Tyler Perry revealed that the movie is very much in progress and Goldberg is thrilled to be back in the habit. I see what you did there. No. We just talked about Lauryn Hill. If Rita Louise Watkins is not gonna be a part of this, I'm not interested. Y'all could even get Frank A. Hey ho. If he ain't gonna be part of this, I'm not interested. For those of you who have been following me for a long time, and some of y'all watch, some of my friends watch, you know, I asked them not to comment in the chat, but they watch. Y'all know that Sister Act 2 is one of my absolute all-time favorite movies. Okay, I have plenty of conversations with my people and I quote Sister Act 2 several times throughout the conversation. Okay, so if Frank A. Hey Ho and Rita Louise Watkins with her tape recorder is not going to be involved in this, I don't want it. Now I am going to watch. Whoopi Goldberg is saying that basically the energy is really good surrounding this and there's no bad feelings. I don't even know what she was referring to. This is what the article goes on to say. I'll spare you. But it has to do with Tyler Perry. And baby, if y'all watching any of Tyler Perry shows, specifically the Great Value version of Girlfriends, aka Sisters, cringe. So listen. You better have some heavy hitters involved in this. And I don't know, he's not name dropping anything, but listen. I don't know how I feel about this, y'all. I said that before and I will say it again. I am not excited about Tyler Perry having anything to do with Sister Act 3 at all. Moving along. Amara La Negra, cast member of Love and Hip Hop Miami, is expecting. Look at this beautiful photo that she posted to her Instagram. I was so happy to see this. So if you guys have been keeping up with Love and Hip Hop Miami, then you know that Amara La Negra, on one of the recent episode before last, Amara La Negra lost her baby. She was pregnant. She ended up having a miscarriage. Okay. But she is now pregnant. Now, I don't know who she's pregnant by. She's pregnant with twins. Is she pregnant by the guy that lives in the Dominican Republic? Who's the baby? Or did she, do it on her own, if you know what I mean? So these are the photos from her Instagram. Girl, you're not only pregnant, but you're pregnant with twins. Look at this beautiful photograph. This girl is very photogenic. This is a picture of her and Mama La Negra. Okay. Mama La Negra. Yes, queen. They look gorgeous. Now, I noticed that she did this photo shoot with a deity. Listen, you can get pregnant and raise your children however, in whatever style and manner you wish. But I'm just being nosy. I want to know, is it the guy that she is dating on Love and Hip Hop? If so, it's a no for me, sis, because he disrespected Mama La Negra. And I don't like that. But these photos are absolutely, positively gorgeous. If you're just coming in, welcome. Please be sure to hit the like button. My name is Royal B. If you're new here, if you're a regular, how you doing? Drop down in the comments, share your thoughts, sound off, okay? And we are live. This is not a premiere or pre-recorded. I actually got the live situation sorted out. Shout out to me. Okay, so Amara La Negra, she looks absolutely beautiful, and I love this. I love Mama La Negra. She is so protective of Amara, and I can appreciate that. I absolutely can appreciate that. So, look at that. Oh, she's kissing her grandbaby. Yes, this is just beautiful. Marla Negra is a beautiful, beautiful girl. So I wish her nothing but a successful, healthy, happy pregnancy. I still want to know who the daddy is. I'm pretty sure we'll eventually find out. But Mama La Negra is going to be a grandmother, and I'm here for it. Shout out to Amara. Okay, who's up next on the lineup? Oh, Summer Walker. Did you guys listen to Summer Walker's album? Anybody? No, I'm the only one. So Summer Walker has her album out, and everybody is talking about it. She's actually streaming. Not streaming. She's occupying the all 5 of the top 5 slots on iTunes. This is her second album, her second is it an album or EP? Whatever the heck it is, it's her second project, second album, right? And usually artists have that like sophomore curse. They say like if you can't really deliver on your second album, it's curtains for you. That's maybe old school stuff, but her album seems to be doing exceptionally well. People have been anticipating her album. She makes great music. But I digress. So I saw this on the Shade Room, right? And leave it up to Tony Braxton's little sister to always make something about herself. Now, she's been doing this for forever. You know what I'm saying? As long as we've been introduced to her. And I very rarely, unless I was reviewing the Braxton's Family Values, I very rarely talk about Tamar because I just can't. She has to find everything, make it about her, right? So there is a song or a project, a piece, whatever, called Sierra's Prayer on Summer Walker's album, right? So here goes Tamar. I'm saying this every day for the next 30 days. May the next man I'm in love with be my husband. No one has time for these nothing ASS empty relationships. Good night. I'm in my bag and I'm going to the studio in the morning and changing my niceness to violence. We say names now. Give it a name. It has a name. A whole bunch of flag emojis. Hashtag be blessed. If you don't want to get called out, don't act up. Tamar, everything with you lately is about a man. I need a man. Lord gonna send me a man. That's all you. That's it for you, huh? What happened to you building up yourself? Everything is surrounding a man. So if you don't have a man, then what? You ain't whole. See, Yana tried to school you, but you disrespected her. And that's exactly why you still in the same position that you were in for the past several years. And I mean that respectfully. All this, oh, my man, Lord, send me a man. My husband is on the way. I need a husband. Sweetie, you need a lot. And a husband right now might not be it. You are not happy with yourself. And this fake, oh, yes, my man is coming, speaking it into existence. It is such a cover up for your blatant insecurity. I just can't. And I'm moving along. Okay. There was a comment that somebody posted in here. And I can't find it right now. I should have highlighted it. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, here, wait. Is this it? You can't pray someone else's prayer and think that's going to make your situation turn out the way theirs did. You're not praying with the same heart from the same place within, and your intention may not be as sincere. This isn't it, but this is interesting. Or it may not be for you. I think people should pray for their own level of energy. Oh, that's cute. And stop thinking what's for someone else is for yourself, because it ain't. Oh, now that's not the comment that I was looking for, but it was meant for me to read that. Yeah. But girl, get your head together. You girl, what makes you think that somebody who is sane and self-assured, a sane, self-assured man, would want to deal with your baggage? Ask that question. That's just my opinion. I can't with her. All right. Moving along. Megan Thee Stallion. Now, yesterday I talked about Megan Thee Stallion in reference to Tory Lanez. They reached a preliminary hearing is going to be taking place in December, right? So Megan Thee Stallion is been named Woman of the Year for Glamour magazine. What else? She's got a whole lot of projects coming up, right? So the point that I was making yesterday, if you watch my commentary yesterday or even the day before that, right, is that every time that there's a situation with court, Tory has a project coming out shortly after Megan Thee Stallion is promoting a project, right? Um, and look, Megan Thee Stallion posted her graduation pictures, and she announced that she is going to be performing in Houston, right? I think this is what she said. Tickets are going on sale, I think Sunday, and she's supposed to be there in December. See, Friday, December 3rd. There's always a court date and then an announcement for a collaboration. Court date, then an announcement for a project. Court date, and then a song drop. So these are her photos from TSU. So her Houston show is December 3rd. Her graduation is December 11th, and then she's gonna have a graduation party. So these are her photos, right? The timing is just. It's just too perfect is what I'm saying. And I know a lot of people are taking sides with this Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation. And you can take whatever side you want. Do whatever you wish. You can believe whoever you want to believe. But beyond that, for me, I'm looking at, like I said before, the people pulling the strings. Why is it that whenever there's a court date, the court date gets pushed back, there's an announcement for this on this side. Court date again. Court date gets pushed back, or there's no resolution, or nothing really happens, it's just a hearing, then this person announcing that they have a project coming out, or they have a collaboration, or it's too perfect. The Shade Room was in the courtroom when Tory Lanez was in court just this week, a few days ago. And this is how we come to find out that there is a preliminary hearing set for December 3rd. And what's going to take place is the judge is going to decide if this situation is going to move forward and go to trial. Tory Lanez wants to go to trial. Tory Lanez had to check the media for, clickbait headlines, basically saying, no, I didn't take the plea deal that they offered me. So get your facts straight. It's not that we couldn't reach a plea deal. I didn't take the one they offered me. I want to go to trial. Boom, here we are. I just want to know if anybody else understands what I'm saying without me having to say too much, right? I can't be the only one that sees this. Controversy sells records. Controversy is free marketing and free promotion. Megan Thee Stallion is going to be in Paris. This she just posted to her Instagram an hour ago, right? So it's always a project out surrounding this situation. It's too perfect. Megan Thee Stallion put out her album Good News, her studio album, a year ago now, a year ago. Tory Lanez put out one of his capsule projects the same day. Even pushed it up last year. It's too perfect. Listen, controversy sells. And it's unfortunate that desperate times calls for desperate measures, so much so that someone's misfortune or a serious event, people are making money off of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm crazy. Like the video. I don't know. Maybe I'll come to my senses. All right. So Kanye West went on to the Drink Champs yesterday, okay, and I knew it was gonna be epic, right? It's Kanye West. Nori had a wonderful time. Nori got his life. Kanye was hitting the blunt. Kanye was drinking Japanese whiskey. It was a beautiful thing. Kanye West to me looked happy, right? So I was just waiting. I took notes while I was watching, and I was waiting for the headlines to come out today. I wanted to see how they were going to write these articles, how they were going to title these articles. What was it going to be like? Well, they didn't disappoint. Salacious sound bites are all over the place. Kanye West says he likes cancel culture, so this is right up his alley. Kanye West talked about his wife. He said that that's still my wife. Fox News was even reporting saying that Kanye West still supports Cheeto 45. He slams cancel culture and the Me Too movement. Slams? I didn't get that from why I watched it from beginning to end. This is why it's important to do your own research if you're going to be giving commentary. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You can just get on here and sound like a babbling fool. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. But slams cancel culture. Kanye West said he likes cancel culture. That's what I heard. You can go to Revolt TV on YouTube and listen to the interview in its entirety. He said he likes cancel. Yeah, I love it. Just like Dave Chappelle said he loves cancel culture, right? Because he knows it's a big joke, you know. And as far as the Me Too movement, Kanye didn't slam the Me Too movement at all. He was very careful, surprisingly, when he spoke about situations with Marilyn Manson and other people, you know. So I like I said, this was Fox News. I have to say that Variety was the one that I read that got it as close to a T what Kanye said. You know what I'm saying? So Kanye West talks marriage status, Drake rivalry, and standing behind Maryland in a wild, I don't know that word, wild, Drink Champs interview. So reading this, I said, okay, a lot of this matched up with the notes that I personally took. So again, in my opinion, if you're interested in a lot of these stories that's going on, practice reading multiple sources. I learned that in college. You know, don't just stick to one source and cite one source. You know, see what how other people are reporting. You learn a lot. You know, you'll learn who is in favor, which media outlets, are in favor of some of these artists and which media outlets aren't. And that is going to sway or impact the way that they write these pieces. But in my opinion, having watched the interview from beginning to end, Variety got it. So in my opinion. But let's go back to page 6, right? So Kanye West says that he still wants to be with my wife. Okay. Move over, Pete Davidson. This is how page 6 starts out the article. Now, you guys know that Pete Davidson is allegedly dating Kim Kardashian. I think it's all for publicity. You guys know that they have a deal with Hulu, so their show is no longer on the E! Network, but it's going to be on Hulu. So I think that this is going to be a storyline, and Kanye kind of touched on that, talking about what's going to be a storyline and what they're doing things for ratings. But Kanye, you gotta your wife has a mind of her own, you know. He didn't say anything negative about her, but it's just, he says that people are in his wife's ear telling her what she should do, and he doesn't like her publicist. It's not a wild interview, but I guess it is wild, but in a good way. Anyway, so the article goes on to say Kanye West said that he still wants to be with a estranged wife despite their ongoing divorce proceedings. In a new interview, which appears to have been taped last month based on his bizarre haircut, but released Thursday, the Donda rapper blasted SNL for its portrayal of their breakup and admitted that he wants to reconcile. Kanye says, SNL making my wife say I divorced him on TV because they just wanted to get that bar off. I never even seen the papers. We're not even divorced. This is what he said on Drink Champs, okay? That they ain't no joke to me. My kids want their parents to stay together. I want us to be together. Yes, he did say that. So West also blamed the media and the Kardashian and his wife's own team for quote unquote promoting the idea of divorce and getting into the reality star's quote unquote ear with ideas of new TV shows. Yes, he did. He said there's this publicist that's nice to her, West added. I don't F with her. Yes, he did say that. I do not want her over our house. I don't F with some of them nannies either. Yes, he did. He sure did. He said that. Page 6 broke the news in early January that the Skims founder was going to end their marriage. She ultimately filed for divorce from, why did they do that? All of the Lights rapper, from Kanye in February after 7 years of marriage and 4 children, right? They mentioned, they remain, amicable exes or a married couple as West would prefer. Basically, Kanye West said, like, that's still my wife at the end of the day. But she got this publicist that promotes fear. This is what he said. She has a publicist that promotes fear, and she's putting things into her ear. And I don't like that. You know, what did he say? He said, if she starts to be fearful, if she starts to fear the comments and what people think about her, who you think she's going to fear next? If these nannies and these publicists are putting fear into my children, who you think that they're going to fear next? He's talking about himself. So then he called out he called out Hulu, and basically said that they're doing all of this. He didn't mention Pete Davidson's name. He said that they are doing all of this divorce thing and new relationship stuff all for the show. Hulu, he called them out by name. And I clapped a little bit because I was here for it. Kanye West did not hold back whatsoever, okay? Given that the interview was previously recorded, West couldn't comment on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians alum rumored romance with Davidson. Okay, that makes sense. The stand-up comic, 27, and Kardashian went out to dinner twice this week while she was in the Big Apple. So yeah, listen, that Pete Davidson situation, it screams publicity stunt. It screams publicity stunt. Kim is still married to Kanye. So Kanye West is not interested necessarily in getting a divorce, but it gives his wife a lot of clout. Okay, don't think just because they're famous that they have to keep feeding the machine, to stay relevant. And it's also going to drive views for their collaboration when their show goes to Hulu. All right. Up next is Fox News. Okay. Kanye West says that he still supports Cheeto 45, slams cancel culture and the Me Too movement. Like I said, this is a stretch. Okay. Especially coming from Fox News. So he talked about the red hats. Okay. He says one of the main reasons I wore the red hat as a protest to the segregation of votes in the black community. All right. Also, other than the fact that I like Cheeto 45 hotels and the saxophones in the lobby. All right. So he talked also about the Democratic Party. All right. Now, you guys have been seeing all over social media that he said that he regrets signing Big Sean. And there's a reason why he said that, Big Sean. And he also talked about John Legend. He felt that they turned their back on him because he stated that they allowed the Democratic Party to use them to talk negatively about him. And he has a problem with that because he says, I know Big Sean's mama. And he said that to say that's how close they are. Big Sean was a part of Good Music, right? And he said that, he also said that he basically changed Big Sean's life. When he signed him, I guess it made him rich, he basically said. He said, I know this man mama, like I know his situation, like I changed his life. Now, Kanye West, in my opinion, his tone wasn't as if he was saying, bow down to me. That wasn't the tone. And no one has to do anything, right? But let's stop fronting. If somebody puts you on to that magnitude, if you put somebody else on that level to change their life, even if you don't speak every day, you're not really expecting them to get on national television and be a puppet for an opposing party and completely throw you under the bus. Like, not even throw you under the bus, but just diss you. And I understand business is business, but let's stop acting like there isn't a certain code amongst us. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's spoken or unspoken. Let's not do that. You know what I mean? Like, no one, technically no one owes you anything. I get all of that. But respect is due a dog, When Big Sean was asked, and what's Chrissy Teigen's husband's name? John Legend. Ugh. When they were asked certain things, nobody has to answer certain questions unless you have to. So this is where Kanye West says, he was used, or they were used by the Democratic Party to basically diss him. No, they don't have to support his political views, but there's a way to do things, right? A lot of people have this mentality, brutally honest. That's toxic as hell. Honesty doesn't have to be brutal. Y'all need to unlearn some stuff. Honesty doesn't have to be brutal. It doesn't have to be disrespectful. It doesn't have to tear somebody else down. You choose to be brutally honest. Brutality and honesty, they don't go hand in hand. I'm just saying, but what do I know? I guess that's the psychologist in me. Now, they also talked about, Marilyn Manson. And that Marilyn is currently under investigation by the LA County Sheriff's Department. And he's being accused of some things. You see me highlighting it there. Okay, definitely not saying that. Marilyn Manson denied all charges and things like that. He talked about the baby facing backlash, for saying what he said at Rolling Loud Miami. But the baby was on Donda. So and so was Marilyn Manson. So I just feel like everybody can have an opinion, right? But it's like whenever Kanye West says something and people emphatically disagree, they automatically go to calling him crazy. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like when you call people crazy, it's extremely dismissive and disrespectful. Like I can't get down with that. I mean, I understand like, oh, you crazy, joking around. But Kanye West has battled with emotional and mental issues. So that's Kanye acting up again, Kanye being crazy again. Big Sean tweeted like, oh, Kanye must be up there wilding. I just feel like when he tells his experience, as a Iyanla would say, he gets called crazy. I don't get it. Whatever. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. He's entitled to his as well. He didn't say anything disrespectful. And I already went over this. I want to get to my notes because my notes are a lot more interesting, I like to think. So I did take notes of the interview. Welcome if you're just joining. We're live and direct. Let me see if I can find my notes. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Kanye West Drink Champs. So you can go check out those articles. Like I said, Variety, in my opinion, out of the 3 that I read, Variety was the one that got it, was the closest to reality. Okay. First of all, I'm looking at my notes now. Can we start off with Nori getting security for Kanye? I wish I had the horns and the claps that they be doing on Drink Champs. Kanye West showed up with no security. So Nori said, first of all, I had to get you security because if anybody do anything to you, it's over for them. That's not what he said, but use your imagination, right? And he got security for Kanye because Drink Champs, according to Nori, is all about giving people their flowers, while they're alive and showing appreciation. And I could respect that. I think at times Kanye West got a little bit too deep for Nori, and Nori kind of had to try to keep it light, which I understand because it's not really politically driven. The show, it's really all about fun. Yeah, they get into certain topics, but you can kind of see that Nori kind of tiptoes around certain things, rightfully so. He just doesn't want to offend anybody. Nori wants to get along with everybody. He don't want to piss anybody off. So I do like the fact that he started out mentioning that he got security for Kanye, and Kanye just walking around here like, okay, I don't need security, but whatever. And I love it. As far as his living situation, Kanye said he does not own a house and he loves moving around. He says, his home is whenever he FaceTimes his daughter. So, he says if he's in New York, he got a whole bunch of people that he could stay with in New York. He name dropped over like close to 100 times. Kanye West is really cool with a lot of people, but you don't see him get on social media bragging about who he's cool with. And I remember having this conversation with somebody saying that people who have a lot of money, like financially rich people, wealthy people, you would think that they don't pay. It's a lot of things that they don't pay for because they have friends in high places. I got you. The owner of Balenciaga, Kanye West said that he traveled to Paris with a little bag and he was chilling with the owner of Balenciaga. He went to the Balenciaga store and the dude said, oh, he's like, I don't have any underwear. Okay, I got you. Like little things like that, socks, underwear. Like Kanye doesn't have to worry about that. And this man is worth over $1 billion. He's a billionaire, right? So that just goes to show you. He says that the most important thing is building relationships. Like Kanye West has so much financial freedom that this man doesn't own a house. And he said the reason why, he said they want you to own a house because they want you indebted to them. He owns land and he's building his own stuff, but he said you don't need a house. And, I just, man, that's a different level of freedom, and, Kanye oftentimes talks about people controlling you and how they want to control you and things like that. So he went on to talk about verses, right? Verses. He says he watches the verses and he would participate. He said, he's going to need 4 people to go up against him. He did say that he would do a verses against Drake, because of course Nori asked. But his whole thing is like, if I participate in verses, y'all gonna have to get 4 people against me. That's Kanye being Kanye. They touched on the Drake drama. He said that, he didn't leak Drake's address. He said it was public. He says that Drake's strategy is like getting ready for war, right? And he compared him and Drake's diss to Tyson biting Holyfield's ear. He basically said, like, the refs didn't see what Holyfield was doing, which caused Tyson to bite his ear. Now, he's not condoning that. He's just making a point. When Drake takes little jabs at him, and when Drake started saying or insinuating that he slept with his wife, and certain songs where he's taking jabs at him, he says, people don't see how that affected him. He basically said, like, it pissed him off because a lot of songs, he would go to kids' birthdays, kids' parties with his kids, and they're playing, what is the name of the song? No, I don't remember the name of the song. But, Drake's music is popular. You can't go anywhere and not hear Drake's music. And he knows that he's taking jabs at him, in these songs. And everywhere he goes, he hears it. So he basically said that he had to, he had to retaliate. He had to raise up. He said, this is rap business. This is how we do it in rap music, in hip hop. You know what I mean? He said he don't make diss records. He don't have beef with Drake in real life. He knows that they're stronger together. He said, but what the media is going to do, the media is going to pull us apart or pull them apart because he knows that they're stronger together. He has said many a times that he loves Drake, but he had to keep it on wax. I don't know, whatever. Then the haircut situation came up. I mean, he never really got into why he did what he did. He said that he called it the Britney, when Britney Spears cut off all her hair. He said, but now, it's called the Ye. So he also touched on the fear that people have of mental health. See, the thing is with Kanye will start talking about something, and then we all do it, right? You start talking about something, then boom, something pops up into your head, and you kind of like sidebar. And that's how my conversations go with some of my peoples, right? Like, I'll be on the phone, we'll be talking about Dr. Umar, and then in the same 2 minutes we'll switch to vegan cupcakes recipes. It's just all over the place, but it's cohesive to us, I don't know. He says that he loves cancel culture. He said he loves it because he's above it. I felt that 100%. They're not gonna like that. So I want to know, Fox, when you're saying that he slams cancel culture, how did he slam cancel culture? He said, I love cancel culture because I'm above it. Like, what you mean? He talked about black leaders. He said some black leaders are selfish and all they care about is, themselves. They get into a position and they just care about like the notoriety and the money. He said not all, he said a lot of black leaders are selfish. He talked about award shows. This is when he interrupted Taylor Swift. He was drunk. He was with Amber Rose. He said he didn't want to go to that award show, and he feels that when he was drunk, he admits that he was drunk, and he says that he knows he was passionate about single ladies being a better video than Taylor Swift winning. Like he was drunk. Okay. He said that he was addicted to alcohol at one point. Which is crazy because I didn't want him to drink. He was taking a couple of shots, but he was all right though. So I don't know. Maybe he's built up a high tolerance. Anyway, so he says he goes into talking about like the word rapper, right? He's talking about the award shows and he's kind of dipping in and out of making his point. But he says he doesn't like the word rapper. He said he feels that when white people say the word the rapper, it's equivalent to them saying the N-word. Okay. You have to listen to him go deep into that. I can't say that I did. I get what he's saying. I get his point. Anyway, moving on to Forbes. He says that they're white supremacists. Let me tell you something. I'm giving you straight to the point notes that I took. He believes that Forbes are white supremacists because he knew that he reached billionaire status before his sister-in-law. And, but they didn't want to give him that acknowledgement, but it's cool. He touched on Soulja Boy, and Nori asked him, hey, why did you take Soulja Boy off the song? He said, did you hear the record? But he does feel that Soulja Boy is one of the top 5 influential rappers, and he basically took him off the song because the verse wasn't good. Now, Soulja Boy did an interview with Academics a couple of weeks back, where Academics was at Soulja Boy's house, and he showed Soulja Boy showed Academics their text conversation between he and Kanye, and Soulja told Academics that Kanye West loved the verse, and you could check that out. I think that might be on Spotify. It might be on Academics YouTube page too. Anyway, he goes on to talk about his marriage. I told you, we saw this in the article, the page 6 article. He does not like his wife's publicist. He said he doesn't F with the nannies either. He said he wants to be with his wife, and he calls out the media for promoting BS. Basically what the page 6 article said. So they start to play this game of this or that, right? That's where Noriega names 2 rappers, producers, 2 artists, and you have to choose one. If you can't choose one or the other, or if you say both, or you can't choose, you got to take a shot, right? So that's how it went down. So he started with Common. This was interesting. And Talib Kweli, right? Kanye says that Common, of course, Common is a better rapper. And no, it's not just because Common and Kanye West are both from Chicago. He says, he doesn't like that. The only thing he doesn't like about Common is that he allows the Democrats to use him, right? So he addresses Talib Kweli. You know, Talib Kweli had some opinions about Kanye, telling Kanye he needs to come home. He checked Talib Kweli. He's like, how you gonna tell me to this, that, and the third thing? And he said, you can't give me no advice, Talib. You know, he said he doesn't like the way that Talib Kweli raps. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are taking this as shade, but you got to remember, this man is asked a question. He's an artist, a musician, producer as well. He's giving his opinion. He's not doing it, in my opinion, he's not doing it in a malicious way. That's not how I received it, right? He always says he got love for Talib Kweli, but you can't give me no advice on this and that. And then he talks about, you know, the whole crabs in the barrel syndrome. And it's so crazy because he said that Jay-Z said this. And I have said this many times over the years, like since I was younger. You know, he says that Jay-Z says that, like, crabs don't belong in a barrel. And I understand why people use that analogy. Oh, black people are like crabs in a barrel. But I always say, like, a crab's natural habitat is not in no damn barrel. So what would you do if you're an animal, not a human, because humans have the ability to reason? Instinctually, you're going to try to claw out of an unnatural environment so that you can get back to what you know instinctually, right? So I understand why people say crabs in a barrel. I totally get it, but it's not a good analogy. It isn't. It never was. I used to say this all the time, even in high school, and some people used to look at me like I was crazy. So to hear that he thinks the same way, and that Jay-Z often mentioned that, come on, we got to think. But I guess because people say crabs in a barrel, we're conditioned. We hear it all the time. Out of habit or conditioning, we just say it and think it sounds good. And just because 2 or 3 people nod their head in agreement, a crab's natural habitat is not a freaking barrel. You wouldn't try, if somebody put you in a barrel, you wouldn't try to claw your way out. I'm just, even as a human, of course you would, because you have the ability to reason. Animals don't. They operate off of instinct. Anyway. So he moves on to Pusha T and Big Sean. Nori asked Pusha T or Big Sean. He said, he brings out this like tombstone, and he says, when I die, under the RIP, it should be written, you know, I belong here for signing Big Sean. He said the worst thing that he did was to sign Big Sean. So he goes into saying that Big Sean and John Legend were used by the Democrats to talk against him. And he says that, you know, it's all good. He said, see, this is what they left out. He said that he got love for them, but they just got to apologize. That's it. They owe me an apology, and that's it. And everything's all, I still got love for them. Then Nori asked Biggie or Big Pun. Let me tell you something. One thing Nori gonna do, he gonna put Big Pun in there. That's his boy. So Kanye said Biggie, of course. He talked about politics. He said he ain't seen Kamala since the election. He said she got I'm telling you, Kanye was kind of dancing all over the place. So I just kind of grabbed and typed what I could, right? He said that Kamala got 90% of the female vote, and you would have thought that Drake was running. I thought that was funny. And he said, we ain't seen her since the election. He's not the only one that has said that. Kamala is somewhere putting hot sauce on her collard greens and not worrying about none of us. Then he goes into Jay or Dame. He said, I knew he was going to say Dame Dash. He said Dame Dash 100% on the CEO level, because Nori asked on the CEO level, Dame or Jay-Z. He says Dame is the visionary. Now, when I was giving my commentary about Jay-Z being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and him mentioning Dame Dash, I said, I don't understand why everybody's patting Jay-Z on his back as if he did something so profound. He would be a fool not to mention Dame Dash. Dame Dash was the one who came up with the idea of Rockefeller Records. Kareem Biggs had the money. Jay-Z was the talent. So can we stop? Anyway. So he checked, basically there's some people talking and media talking and record execs talking that said that Dame Dash is in Ye's pocket, in Kanye's pocket. And Kanye had to check them. And he says that Dame put him on. And he said Dame don't have to work again if he doesn't want to. And I respect that. I respect that. He addressed the record exec and told him, like, don't ever speak on his and Dame's relationship again. All right. Now, if you guys don't know your hip hop history, then you should know that Dame Dash was the one that brought Kanye West to Def Jam. And Jay-Z wanted him to be a producer instead of an artist. Kanye wanted to be an artist kind of, but he's just like, you know what, whatever, it is what it is. Dame Dash was the one that bigged up Kanye West and brought him to Def Jam. So there's a loyalty that Kanye is going to have for Dame Dash. I respect it. You could be loyal to whoever you want to be loyal to. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play, I hope I can play this. This is from the No Jumper podcast. I want to play what Dame Dash said about his beloved brother, Kanye West. Like to hear it? Here you go.
So keep bugging out, Kanye. And also keep looking out. You know what I'm saying? Because as a person and as a brother, he's the only motherfucker that I invested in that ever looked out. Ever looked out. Ever looked out. And that means more to me than any other bubblegum shit that he's doing. So even when I'm mad at him, I can't even be mad at him. Because by the time I get in front of him, he fucking pays the proper respect. And no one does that. Not one fucking person. So yeah, I'm gonna hold him down. Because he's the only one that's ever held me down, whether it's publicly or not. Period. And that's all that counts. He's been loyal. To a degree.
I mean, yeah. All right.
There you have it. So that was from the No Jumper podcast. This was like 2 years ago, or what's this, 2021? This was like 2 years ago. And he basically said that Kanye is the only one that invested in him and ever looked out. And that's why Kanye West felt the need to check those record executives that said, and other people that said, you know, he in Dame's pocket. You know what I mean? Dame Dash is in Kanye's pocket. And as far as what Kanye had to say, this is from the Drink Champs. Like to hear it? Here you go.
You know, they SNL making my wife say I divorced him on.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. My bad. Hold up. Make sure you like the video while you in here. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
Just on the CEO level. Jay or Dame? Just CEO.
Absolutely 1,000% Dame Dash.
Oh, really? Okay.
Dame
I need
Dash,
the explanation for this one.
Because Dame Dash the visionary.
Okay.
He the original black hipster. I'm the devil's worst nightmare. I'm Dame Dash with money.
Wow. I don't know how to take that one, but continue.
And I'm also Jay and Dame combined. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? Dame has the vision to see it. And this man, I remember, what's his name? With Steve Rifkin or something. He said, oh, Dame is in Ye's pocket. Hey, white boy, don't never speak on me and Dame. Don't ever speak on our situation of me taking care of the man that put me on.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what oh, you think I'm a man. Not everybody gonna make the money. You know what I'm saying? If you got a community, you're gonna have people who can figure out how to earn. I was one of Jay's best earner. Anytime he needed that beat, boom. You know what I'm saying? So Dame never had to work again. Period. You know what I'm saying? Anything ever need, I'm here. The more and more money I got, this is my family. I'm never gonna let nobody speak on our relationship.
Yo, let me tell you something. If you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. Maybe you love me when I fade the black. Let me stop. No, if I respect that 100%. He checked Steve Rifkin. Like, don't talk about me and Dame relationship. Like, he put me on. And see, this is the loyalty that I guess to some degree Kanye was expecting back when it comes to other people. You know, he put people on. And again, it's not a matter of bowing down to him, but dang, like, don't speak on, like, don't disrespect me publicly for politics when I'm the one that actually changed your life. You know what I'm saying? And I wholeheartedly, everybody's built different, bro. Like, that's how I feel. Everybody is built different. So I guess everybody doesn't think the same. It is what it is. But I respect that. I have my strong opinions in favor of Dame, and I have my strong opinions that are not so favorable of Dame. But again, we can't erase Dame Dash's contributions to the culture of hip hop. Trust me, he won't let you forget it. And just to see Kanye West showing him respect and checking anybody that's talking negatively about him, this is exactly what Dame Dash says he respects. Look, they go at it all the time. They're not going to see eye to eye. That's fine. He said, but he's loyal. Everybody's definition of loyalty is different. Dame Dash is a tourist like myself who's big on loyalty. Any sign of disloyalty, you can hang it up, flat screen. So he moves on, Beanie Siegel or The Game. Now, I didn't understand why Noriega put Beanie Siegel and The Game in this or that. Kanye said Beanie. He says that he owes Beanie Siegel money because he was the one that gave him the name Yeezy. And that's what he used to call him. And I said, wow. He said, I've been trying to get in contact with Beanie Siegel to give him money. Now, let's see if Beanie Siegel comes out and refutes that, because a lot of people be saying Kanye West be lying. You know, Big Sean now is ready for his interview on Drink Champs, which is going to be probably interesting. But I like Beanie Siegel. I would have chose Beanie Siegel too. He went on to Jadakiss or Fab. Kanye said Jadakiss because of his sound. He also talked about Busta Rhymes, being envious of Busta Rhymes' voice on a rap song. He said he would cut off his left thumb to sound like Busta Rhymes. He also showed his appreciation for Diddy. He feels like Diddy is his twin. Today's Diddy's birthday, by the way. Diddy is 52 years old. Wow, that's crazy. He said Diddy is his twin. He just like relates to Diddy more. So between Jadakiss and Fab, you know, Jadakiss, because Jadakiss sounds, you know, good on every beat. And because Jadakiss is the metaphors, the bars, you know, that's got your mind turning. That's what Kanye likes. He likes to get his wheels turning. Anyway, Nas or Jay Electronica, of course, he says Nas. He says Nas is his favorite rapper of all time, you know. Pharrell or Timbaland as far as production. He said Timbaland. At this point, I noticed that they edited out a clip, because they started going into talking about like Virginia and Pharrell and Timbaland both being from Virginia. And he started saying something about Pharrell. And then there was a huge jump cut, or there was a jump cut after that. So I don't know. He didn't really get to finish his thought on that. Puffy or Dr. Dre, he said Diddy because he likes Diddy. He says Diddy is his twin. Swiss Beats or Just Blaze, he chose Swiss. Now he says that Just Blaze is a copycat. Shout out to Just Blaze, another hometown homie of mine. We from the same town, just like Fetty Wap. So shout out to Just Blaze. Just Blaze actually posted on social media. I wish I would have pulled it up, but I don't feel like it right now. This video is getting long. He says that Just Blaze is a copycat. He said he don't really got a problem with that, but just, you know, acknowledge him. Like, you know, just acknowledge him. He said everything that he did that Kanye did as far as beat production and production is concerned, Just Blaze tried to imitate. And he said, you see who's still here. So, you know, Kanye was talking his little ish. As far as Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott, he ended up taking a shot because he said like they're the same. He said he can't pick between those two. He circled back around toward the ending of the interview, back to the publicist. Remember, he said he doesn't like his wife's publicist. He says that she promotes fear. I think I said this in the beginning of the video. She promotes fear, and he doesn't want his wife and children to live in fear. They go back to the game, Outkast or UGK. He said Outkast. Scarface or Ice Cube. He says Scarface is more influential. Lil Baby or Da Baby. He said Lil Baby, but I think he meant to say Da Baby because Da Baby was on his album. So I don't know if he meant to say Lil Baby or Da Baby. Anyway, Wu-Tang or NWA, he chose Wu-Tang. Ghostface Killer or Raekwon. This is always a good one. He chose Ghostface. Funk Flex or Kid Capri, he chose Flex. As far as Jay-Z is concerned, he says that Jay is selfish. You know, he didn't say it in a malicious way. He said, I think everybody knows, who knows Jay knows that Jay's selfish. He said Jay-Z says it himself. He said, when they were talking about like coming together for the Watch the Throne album, he says Jay was selfish for not giving up the song Holy Grail with Justin Timberlake. You know, that was on Magna Carta Holy Grail, Jay-Z's album. So, you know, Kanye was giving up all of these, like Otis was supposed to be on Kanye's album. That went toward Watch the Throne and a couple of other songs. He gave up like 3 songs so that they could put that on their joint album, Watch the Throne. And he heard, you know, Holy Grail with Justin Timberlake. And he's like, yo, you got to put this on the Watch the Throne album. Jay-Z said, nah. So he thought Jay-Z was selfish because of that. He's like, you know, I'm dropping all of these, you know, I'm taking all of these songs off my album and put them on Watch the Throne. What you, like, why you ain't giving up nothing? So, he just talked. Then he goes into talking about sticking together and we're stronger together than we are apart. I'm not doing that part justice because he really got deep toward the end throughout the whole interview. Typical Kanye. My final thoughts are he felt extremely comfortable. The one thing that I did not like about this interview is that he kept talking about if they take him up out of here. He kept saying that, and it gave, the first time he said it, it gave me chills because I have conversations, kitchen table talk with my peoples about a lot of these artists, a lot of hip hop, a lot of stuff, right? And entertainment wise, specifically music. And I remember for the past several years, I have been saying certain things in the realm of what Kanye was saying. And I even made points and point things out because people who are cool with me, real cool with me in real life, they know that I have it's a certain level of appreciation that I have for Kanye West going all the way back to before College Dropout, right? College days. Anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent about that. And when he said that, it just gave me chills. And the way he said it was like, it's up. He just kept saying, it's up now, as if he was not in fear of if anything happened to him. He seemed like he probably has, you know, played this in his mind over and over again. And that was kind of scary. That's the one thing that I didn't like. Because he said it more than like 2 and 3 times. You know, if they take me up out of here, he didn't say take me up out of here. He said the K word. They take me up out of here. This interview is already out there. It is what it is. I enjoyed this. Shout out to Drink Champs for getting Kanye West to come and sit down. Shout out to Nori and EFN and Drink Champs, especially Nori, for getting Kanye's security. That's mad respect for that. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Not one point did I want to turn it off or turn away. I understand how Kanye interviews, so you just got to kind of bear with him, but I understand. And he was smiling a lot. He was laughing a lot. You know, you could tell he had a lot to say. This interview could have been maybe 2 or 3 parts. I'm pretty sure they edited out a lot, right? But I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys will get the opportunity to watch it in its entirety for yourself. If you choose to, you ain't got to do nothing, right? As opposed to just reading articles. because some of these articles, yeah, but again, Variety was the one that I found to be closest to, closest without all the fluff and extra salacious BS, in my opinion. So shout out to Variety for getting it right. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. I enjoy Kanye. I do. I don't agree with Kanye all the time, but see, that's the beauty of it. You don't have to agree with someone all the time. It's kind of unhealthy if you do, right? In my opinion. But it's just a matter of hearing somebody else's perspective. We all don't think the same. I find it interesting when people say, when black people in particular say, black people are not a monolith. But right, okay, we're not, right? Okay, I can get down with that. But when someone does not say the things that you want them to say, or it becomes, nah, black people don't think like that. Nah, black people don't act like, I thought we're not a monolith. Which one is it? That's why you got to learn to think for yourself. You really have to learn to think for yourself. And it's not difficult to do the work and come up with your own perspective. Just be respectful. You don't have to force your ideas on anybody. You ain't got to make anybody think like you, act like you do. Like, you ain't got to do none of that. If you're comfortable with your thought process and what you're doing, then just let it be. That's it. Nobody has to agree with you. Most people are probably not going to agree with you. You're going to find people who are going to agree with you. But I do like how Kanye West was so comfortable, it seems, in this environment. He was really chilling and laughing. I wish they would have got more into the music talk, because I would love to hear his thoughts and opinions about some of these current rappers. He did talk about Travis Scott. He talked about J. Cole. He basically said that, like, they tried to make mini Kanyes. This one dresses like me, this one talks like me, this one raps like me. So he had to basically kind of like raise up and be like the Thanos of rap. He talked about having certain people in a group chat. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it in its entirety. It'll all make sense if you sit there and just pay attention and just listen. He didn't say anything that was so deep that, oh my God, went over your head. He did make a Bob Marley reference to Bob Marley's toe, and I caught that immediately. So I thought that was real slick. He snuck that in there. I enjoyed it. I'm probably going to watch it again. I watched it twice, so I'm probably going to watch it again. Very interesting. So you guys drop down in the comments, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. This was a really long video. I had no idea that this video was going to be this long. I didn't intend it to, but the live stream is healthy and it held on strong. So praise Jesus. All right. So I am signing off. Thank you guys for watching and listening and all that good stuff. And I can't wait to read your comments. So I love you for watching. And as always, until next time, peace.